Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Going to be giving you my player ratings from our 3-3 draw with Everton yesterday night. So David De Gea, he's going to get a 2 out of 10. Effectively, David De Gea cost us the game. He was beaten far too easily for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal in the 95th minute of stoppage time, and he made a bad mistake for Everton's first goal by Decore, because David De Gea palmed it straight to Decore's feet. David De Gea would have been criticised. Now, should David De Gea be dropped? You know, in the last couple of years now, he's made a lot of calamitous mistakes. But in some games this season, he's actually done very, very well, and there's actually been signs of him slowly getting back to his best. Quite a few years ago, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. This is his 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant. He's probably going to remain our number one for at least this season. He's made over 500 appearances for the club in all competitions. So is it now time for us to put Dean Henderson as number one? Because I think Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our number one because he has got that experience behind him. So just a 2 out of 10 for David De Gea. And Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a good game. I thought Wan-Bissaka got forward well. I thought his combination with Mason Greenwood on that right flank was pretty good. And Wan-Bissaka got the assist for Bruno Fernandes's second goal. And I said, didn't I, he's really, really improving. Victor Lindelof, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a poor game. And he made a howler in the first half, so he was lucky not to be punished. I just think Victor Lindelof alongside Harry Maguire doesn't work. And like I've said, I prefer Eric Bailly to Victor Lindelof. But obviously Eric Bailly couldn't play yesterday night because he's out with injury again. And that's my only element of concern about Eric Bailly. Harry Maguire, I thought he enjoyed a poor game yesterday night. I'm going to give him a 3 out of 10. Yes, he did. He dealt with Dominic Calvert-Lewin for large periods of the game. He showed lack of speed, leading towards Everton's first goal. Just a very, very poor game from Harry Maguire. He was slow as well. Didn't get forward enough. So, just a 3 out of 10 for him. Harry Maguire has enjoyed good games this season. He certainly isn't worth the £80 million that we got him for. He is the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Harry Maguire is our current captain. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Luke Shaw showed consistency. Again, he got forward well. I like the way that Luke Shaw crosses the ball. Luke Shaw did get the assist for Scott McTominay's third goal. It was a great delivery, by the way. And yeah, aspects of Luke Shaw's game has really improved, and Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles last summer. Luke Shaw's been at the club now over 6 years. So yeah, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. Paul Pogba, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought Paul Pogba did quite well until he came off. Paul Pogba came off with injury. Solskjaer has confirmed that Paul Pogba has sustained a muscle injury. His injury is going to be assessed today. He said he will have further more treatment and he will have a scan. Paul Pogba is now a doubt for the game against West Ham in the FA Cup 5th round. Paul Pogba sustained quite a few injuries now at Manchester United. You know, earlier on this season, he had an ankle injury. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. But I think since he came back from that ankle injury he had earlier on in the season, the vast majority of his performances have actually been very good. Now, Solskjaer recently suggested Paul Pogba could sign a new contract at Man United, and we've held talks over Paul Pogba's future, and Solskjaer insists that he's happy at Man United. So there is still a chance that Paul Pogba could stay at the club, potentially past the summer. But there's also a chance he will leave the club in the summer, because he has had a long-running transfer saga. You know, Paul Pogba's brother, Matthias, recently gave us an update on Paul Pogba's future, and he said we need to sell Paul Pogba during the summer if we are to get the money. Or he says we could lose him on a free in 2022, because Matthias said that Paul Pogba's got no intentions of signing a new contract. So, in a way, he's saying the exact same thing as what Fabrizio Romano was saying. Because Fabrizio Romano recently spoke about Paul Pogba, and he said Paul Pogba's transfer away from Man United is still on the cards, because he said Mino Raiola's been planning a move for Paul Pogba next summer. You know, Mino Raiola made an announcement back in December saying that his client's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Solskjaer was obviously furious with Mino Raiola's announcement, because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment, because we paid £89 million for him. And this, I think, is his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined. He did get voted Player of the Month for January, reflecting on that fantastic goal he scored in the 2-1 win against Fulham. Earlier on this season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so he's under contract with Man United until June 2022. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Scott McTominay, he's also going to get a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a good game. I thought McTominay passed the ball well. He retrieved the ball well. Showed tenacity in his tackles. And yeah, you know, McTominay can play well. when he wants to. Certainly his best game in a Man United shirt was the 6-2 win against Leeds, because he scored twice in that game and he got an assist. He did well in the game against Watford in the FA Cup third round, scored in the 5th minute of that game. He did well in the 9-0 win against Southampton and obviously got his name on the score sheet yesterday night. It was a good header from McTominay, but it was poor goalkeeping from Olsen. Bruno Fernandes, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a very, very good game. Bruno Fernandes' goal was absolutely exceptional. I thought Bruno Fernandes was going to cross it, but obviously he decided not to cross it and he went for goal and he chipped Olsen. I think Bruno Fernandes was like 25 yards out. Bruno Fernandes had other chances in the game without scoring, so he could have had more than one goal. Bruno Fernandes, like I said, has made a difference in this team. He's our best player and is the best signing we have made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. It recently said that Bruno Fernandes is planning on spending many years at Man United after his 12-month anniversary. In most of his games at Man United, he has been very, very consistent. There's only been a few games where he has looked off the pace. He won Player of the Month for December, but he's won that now quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. And Bruno Fernandes denies that he needs a rest because obviously he wants to help the club win trophies. It recently said we are 3 months into contract talks with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes' current contract expires in 2025. There's also an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. We initially paid £47 million for Bruno Fernandes, but the overall cost is just over £67 million with add-ons included. Mason Greenwood, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. Mason Greenwood, made some very, very good runs on that right-hand side. I thought he kept the ball well. And yeah, Mason Greenwood is really, really improving. Mason Greenwood's obviously still got a lot of development in him. But despite his good performances recently, he's not managing to score, is he? He didn't get his name on the score sheet against Southampton, but still put a good performance out. Ollie's been defending Mason Greenwood a lot this season, because earlier on this season he had injury, at one point he had illness, and at one point he had personal issues. The start of this season we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he enjoyed a good game, did Marcus Rashford. He made some very, very good runs on that left-hand side. Rashford also had chances in the game. He got an assist for Edison Cavani's first goal, and it was a lovely cross by Marcus Rashford. But I think again at times in the game his passing was poor, his finishing was poor, and his decision making was quite poor. But I'm still going to give him a 7 out of 10 because I think Marcus Rashford's really, really improved under Solskjaer, to be honest with you. And we need to keep him out wide on that left because that's where he's more effective. Edison Cavani, I'm going to give him a 8 out of 10. He enjoyed a good game. Like I said, his first goal was very, very good. Good header from Edison Cavani. That's 3 goals now he's scored against Everton this season. He scored against Everton in the EFL Cup. And he also scored against Everton in the 3-1 win at Goodison Park. I just like the way that Edison Cavani holds up the play. His movement in and around the box is very, very good. He can create chances and he can also score goals. He has made a fantastic impact. I can assure he'll see out his contract at the club. We got Edison Cavani on a free last summer. He signed a 1-year contract with Man United with an option of a second year. Obviously, we brought 2 substitutions on in the game. We saw Fred come on. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10. I thought Fred gave away some needless fouls when he came on and missed a couple of big chances. And Axel Tuanzebe came on. I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. Axel Tuanzebe gave away the needless foul building up to Everton's 3rd goal. By the way, Axel Tuanzebe has been racially abused again on social media. So that is your player ratings from our 3-3 draw with Everton. But yeah, we squandered a 2-goal lead because, when we was 2-0 up at half-time, I thought we was going to win the game. By the way, Solskjaer has said we should not be considered as title chasers after that 3-3 draw with Everton. So I think now Solskjaer has disregarded the title. Paul Scholes said it's a big blow to our title hopes is that 3-3 draw with Everton. But I thought, it was a good performance by Man United in terms of an attacking intent, but defensively we was a shambles. I thought Everton were poor in the first half. They kept giving the ball away a lot, but in the second half, Everton played well. Like I mentioned, there was some good performers for them. I thought Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a good game. He was causing problems. Richie Arlington, he was getting down that channel, a lot of times, especially in the first half. Decore had a good game for them. Got the goal, also got the assist. I think he got their player of the match, did Decore. To be honest though, James Rodriguez was disappointing despite him scoring Everton's 2nd goal. To his credit, he took the goal well. But from an Everton perspective, they'll be very, very delighted, won't they? And Everton, like I said, they've enjoyed a good season. Obviously, they did have a bad period. I think they're now sitting 6th in the league. But like I said, Carlo Ancelotti is a very, very good manager. He's been Everton manager now for over a year. When Everton appointed him in, Ancelotti signed a 4.5-year deal with them. And Carlo Ancelotti's got a good pedigree behind him. He's won, 15 major trophies so far in his managerial career. Before Everton had Ancelotti, they had Duncan Ferguson on a temporary basis. Before they had Duncan Ferguson, they had Marco Silva. They was very, very inconsistent under Marco Silva. That's why they sacked him at one point. They had Roberto Martinez. They was actually very consistent under him. And at one point they had Moyes. Moyes enjoyed, 11 years with Everton. But yeah, we was looking to beat Everton for the 3rd time this season because we've already beaten them twice this season. We've beaten them in the EFL Cup quarter-final earlier on in the season 2-0 and beaten them in the league 3-1 at Goodison Park. Both games between us and Everton last season were 1-1 draws. Everton have still not beaten us at Old Trafford since 2013. So yeah, and our next game is West Ham in the FA Cup 5th round, and that's going to be a tough game for us, because West Ham are enjoying a good season. They are exceeding expectations. Because to be honest with you, no one thought West Ham had been in the position that they're in at this point. They did though recently draw 0-0 with Fulham, but you've got to give David Moyes credit because he's doing very, very well in his second spell with West Ham. He's brought quite a few players in as David Moyes. Obviously, brought Jesse Lingard in on loan not so long ago. I think probably West Ham will end up getting him permanently. Lingard scored twice in his debut for West Ham in their 3-1 win against Aston Villa. Also brought Ben Rama in. Well, they brought Ben Rama in on loan, and then obviously they got him permanently. They also brought Craig Dawson in on loan from Watford. Moyes obviously brought Vladimir Kufal in as well. They brought that Frederick Ibsen in. And they brought Souček in. And Souček has made a fantastic impact at West Ham. One of West Ham's key players as well is Mikel Antonio. He's good. Lanzini, he's good. Pablo Fornells, he's good. They've also got that Jared Bowen. Mark Noble is still with West Ham, surprisingly. Been there a while now, hasn't he? West Ham have also got Declan Rice. He's definitely one of their key players. We've been linked with Declan Rice. Do you think there's a chance we could sign him in the summer? It said that actually West Ham were considering lowering their asking price for Declan Rice to £50 million, but initially West Ham value him at around £80 million. West Ham have also got Aaron Cresswell, who's quite good. They've got Issa Diop, who's a good centre-half. West Ham have let a few players go, don't forget. Obviously, they lost Winston Reid, they lost Robert Snodgrass, they lost Sebastian Haller, who was good for them as well. They lost Felipe Anderson, they lost Grady Diagana. We beat West Ham earlier on this season at the London Stadium 3-1. We come from behind in that game. Our next league match is West Brom. That's a game we should be winning because West Brom are relegation fodder. But yeah, I don't think we're going to win the title now. I think we'll win another title at some point, don't get me wrong. Maybe next season, maybe the next couple of seasons. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it for like 8 years now. Solskjaer knows how imperative it is to get his first trophy on the board as Man United manager, because we haven't won a trophy now for like 4 years, and obviously a club of our stature need to be winning trophies. The FA Cup is a chance of a trophy. The Europa League is a chance of a trophy. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was totally blameless for that 3-3 draw with Everton yesterday night. It was our defence that was to blame. And of course, David De Gea was to blame. Because like I said earlier, he cost us the game. So yeah, of course, I'm still Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. Because we have improved under Solskjaer. He has made good progress at Man United in the last year or so. We've been very, very good away from home. Reflect on that 0-0 draw with Arsenal not so long ago. We set a new club record. We are unbeaten in our last 18 Premier League away games. We haven't been as good though at home as we have been away. We've won a few games at home, but we've lost like 4 or 5 games at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. All our defeats have actually come at Old Trafford. But I thought we'd beat Everton because we was going into that game full of confidence, because we did beat Southampton 9-0. And it was the first time we'd scored 9 goals since the 9-0 win against Ipswich back in 1995, which is 26 years ago. You know, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be given at least another season at the football club. You know, this is his second full season at the moment. You know, Solskjaer has been criticised a lot as Manchester United manager, you know, especially reflecting how inconsistent we was earlier on in the season. You know, a lot of our fans were demanding him out and they were saying stuff like, you know, he's tactically naive, and in some games he is tactically naive. And there was also saying that he is out of his depth at the club. But I think we do deserve credit for sticking with Solskjaer because, like I said, he could have easily have been sacked as Man United manager because we have endured very, very bad periods under him. By the way, Solskjaer says our summer transfer plans could be affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. So we may not be able to strengthen as we wish, but I'm still expecting us to make some signings in the summer transfer window. I think we could make 2-3 signings in the summer transfer window. It's just very imperative that Ed Woodward backs Solskjaer in the summer transfer window. Woodward has come out several times to show his support for Ollie, and he's promised Solskjaer that he will back him with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. Solskjaer has endured 4 transfer windows as permanent Man United manager. 5 transfer windows in total. And I don't think he has been backed enough so far. You know, it was a disappointing January transfer window because we only saw one arrival, and that was Amad Diallo Traore. He's made 2 appearances now for the under-23s, and he's done well. So it won't be too long now till we see him in the first team squad. But Solskjaer did say a few times during the January transfer window that he wasn't expecting any signings. You know, he said that, you know, more fringe players could leave, which they did. So to all his credit, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he came in. Yeah, I'm expecting a few more players to leave Man United in the summer. Solskjaer's managed 100 games now as a manager in the Premier League. That was his 100th game in the Premier League yesterday night. But Solskjaer has been Manchester United manager for over 2 years now. Reflecting how long he's been at the club, he has gained some managerial experience. Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Like I said, there's a few things Solskjaer's got to do at the club. He's got to identify his best 11. He's got to give Donny van de Beek more opportunities. You know, Donny van de Beek didn't play any part again yesterday night. And he's got to get his selections right persistently. Because I have said before, one of my biggest concerns about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is his decision making. But I think he's still done a good job with us to say that he's not a manager at the top level, because he hasn't got a proven pedigree, let's be honest. But, you know, like I said, whether Solskjaer succeeds as Man United manager or whether he doesn't succeed, you know, we'll still always adore him because he is a club legend. I kind of sure we'll finish in the top 4 this season, but I doubt now where we're going to win the league. But Solskjaer hasn't been mentioned in the title race anyway, has he? In the last couple of months. You know, he's just been taking one game at a time. But now, reflect on that result against Everton, he's disregarded the title. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.